Hello, my name's Doug Somerville. I'm a Technical Specialist, New South Wales Department of Primary Industries for honeybees. My responsibilities are education, research and extension for New South Wales. What I'd like to just briefly give you a talk about or present to you is the results of a research trial we ran over 14 months on looking at screen bottom boards on beehives. There's this belief that screen bottom boards, something like this, is bad for the bees because of the added ventilation that the bees have to deal with in relation to temperature control in the beehive. What we set out to do, or what I set out to do, was to demonstrate whether that is actually the case, whether that screened or ventilated bottom board does impact on the productivity of a beehive. So what we've got here is a normal or conventional bottom board. You can see that it's solid with risers underneath, or pleats underneath and risers up top, entrance here. That's just a normal standard bottom board that the majority of beekeepers utilise. Here we have a screen bottom board. There's different types, but what the same principle applies. The gap there that they've got is about 3 millimetres, so that prohibits the movement of bees through these screens. Bees cannot go through the screens, but a lot of rubbish can, and particularly varroa mites if we're able to get it. And here I've got a hive full of foundation, but it gives you an indication that it's got a screen on the bottom of it. So what we did, we set up 60 beehives, or selected 60 beehives. We equalised all the population, we requeened them all so they had all sister queens, and we managed those 60 hives for 14 months. We moved them around 4 different locations in the state, in the south of the state, different climatic zones from the coast, the west, and the tablelands, extracting honey and gathering a lot of data in relation to the variability between hives and treatments. The end result was that the actual screen bottom board, this particular design, produced 15% more honey than a conventional bottom board. And the reality is that's not major significance, but what it does clearly demonstrate, and this is the ultimate result of this trial, that there is no difference between solid bottom and screen bottom. Bees are quite happy in a range of climatic zones existing with ventilated bottom boards, and that was the essence of the trial. So one of the uses for a screen bottom board is to monitor mite populations in a hive to determine if the hive needs treatment or not. So this screen bottom board, for instance, has been made or modified so a tray can slide underneath to catch any mite falls. In that tray you could place a sticky mat or some Vaseline or something, leave it under there for 24 hours, and then you pull that out and then count the number of mites trapped in the tray to determine if the colony needs treating or not. Thus far Australia does not have varroa mites, so we're in a privileged position, but if we ever did, this would be a very useful tool to use to monitor mite populations. Here I've got a card that's literally covered in varroa mites. This particular example came out of New Zealand, very heavily infected hive, but that card would be sitting on the base of the tray. The colony in this case has probably been treated with a miticide. All the mites have fallen through the screen onto the sticky mat underneath, and they give you an indication of the mite population in the hive. So it's a very useful tool to measure mite populations in a hive and determine when, if, treatments are necessary. So the full copy of the report is available on the Rural Industries Research and Development Corporation website. It's called Screen Bottom Boards. You can download it for free, or you can pay for a printed copy. So if you go to www.rirdc.gov.au and search Screen Bottom Board Project, it was published in 2014.